Welcome to Inside Santa Cruz. I'm Joyce Anderson, and we're here at the historic Coconut Grove for our Red Cross Heroes event for 2013. And some of our special guests today are
Angela Chestnut,
Jimmy Panetta,
Seal Cirillo,
Bruce McPherson.
And we want to welcome, there's so many amazing people and also our heroes. So we want you to sit back and watch the program today and our 11 amazing heroes for this year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Dimmick. I work for the Sheriff's Office in Santa Cruz County. And on Valentine's Day of 2012, I was working patrol at shift trade. I had just finished a graveyard shift, and the day shift people were coming out. I was the last person on the street. And our dispatch advised me of a domestic disturbance that was in progress that involved a knife and a juvenile. I responded from about 3 minutes away, and as I responded, gradually the call seemed to be getting worse, that the daughter had been stabbed in the mouth. When I arrived on scene, some good neighbors had taken control of the daughter and brought her to a safe place, and they pointed out the house in question where I heard a woman screaming and sounds of a fight inside. And as I walked up to the door, I announced myself, and the female yelled that there was a knife. She had thrown the knife out on the ground. And I looked on the knife, or I looked on the deck, and sure enough, there was a knife. So I took my taser out instead of another level of force, and saw a man, blood all about him, his hands, his shirt, and his face. And he leaned up when I yelled at him to stop, and he wasn't responsive. Just stared at me blankly as I told him to stop and come out, and calmly tried to direct him to get off of the woman. And he started to lean down to choke her again, so I used my taser and activated it on him, and it was effective. And I was able to grab him and pull him out of the trailer. And once the taser stopped what it was supposed to do, I put him in handcuffs and waited for my teammates to show up. Fortunately, I knew that the teamwork with our office, that we are going to be responding, and I knew that someone would be home shortly behind me. And so that, and with the medical personnel and our dispatch, is really more of a team effort than just my actions. I was just in a certain place at a certain time and had training to deal with it appropriately. So although I'm honored to be recognized for this award, I have to chalk this up to the teamwork and citizens helping out this family in their time of need. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Kevin Cook, and on St. Patrick's Day last year, I heard a loud banging outside my house. I ran out to find out what was going on. I was told that my wheelchair-bound neighbor was trapped in her house. I also knew she was on oxygen, so I knew I had to get in there and get to her fast. So I ran to the front door, found it locked, kicked it in, got a good ways into the house, about to the middle of the house, but it was so smoky that I couldn't see anything. I couldn't breathe. And I couldn't hear her at that point, couldn't locate her. So I ran back out of the house. As I was running out, then I heard her yelling, "I can't breathe." And I thought that I was too late, that I wouldn't be able to get to her. But I ran around to the back door, kicked it in. Neighbor helped me get a piece of wood out of the way, that was obstructing me. I found her laying just inside the door there and dragged her out. Another neighbor came along and helped me to drag her out to the street. The fire trucks were just arriving, and it was right then when the oxygen tanks exploded. So we were incredibly fortunate to get out when we did. And the woman is fine now. She's doing well. I'm well. And I'm very honored to be getting this award from the Red Cross. Thank you.
Hello, this is David Kwan, Dominican, for 10 years. And I saved my best friend's life at the cafeteria where I worked too. She was choking and red, so I was urged on to help her, so I went over to her sitting area for lunch. She was choking, so I put my hands around her waist and dislodged some chicken. And all our friends thanked me for saving her life, because she's a really special lady. And she's now even my best friend. We talk a lot. Of course, not during eating time. We try to be okay with that. And also, I enjoy her company every time we have lunch together in the same area. So, and volunteer services really helped me out a lot with volunteering for 11 years and 40,000 hours. They are very nice to me. And also I want to say thank you for letting me do this CPR. I'll have to renew my license. So I just want to say thank you to Red Cross. I love them, and I know who they are. Before I just knew the CPR, that's all. And I want to say thank you a lot.
Hi, my name is Matthew Ryan. I work for the Palo Alto Medical Foundation. I am the program manager for their sports medicine here in Santa Cruz. And I want to tell a story about the PANT Philanthropy giving automatic electronic defibrillators to all of the public high schools and middle schools in the county that have athletic programs. The impetus for this program, which is called the Save a Student program, dubbed by myself and Scott Varadian with the Emergency Medical Services, came about a few years ago when I was at a conference as the liaison from the National Athletic Trainers Association to the American Medical Society of Sports Medicine. At this conference, a physician named Brett Torsdahl from University of Washington was giving a presentation on the importance of having AEDs at the high schools where there were athletics involved. During his presentation, he had one slide up there that was very striking. It showed the time versus success rate of having an AED there when a student athlete was having a cardiac incident. And what it showed was when the emergency medical service truck came at 9 minutes, it was basically too late. So these are the people that are trained to do this for a living, and they would get to campus not in time to save the student. So it made me think that the AEDs had to be on campus. And when I came back, I talked to Scott Varadian, and Scott and I created a proposal that went to PANT Philanthropy, asking for AEDs being donated to all the high schools and middle schools in the county. PANT readily agreed to this, and very fortunately, they quickly bought the AEDs, and we have now distributed them to all of the campuses that have athletic programs at the public high schools throughout the entire county. With that, the emergency medical services are also sustaining the program by supplying the training needed for faculty, staff, and even students at each facility to ensure that the AEDs are used when they need to be used. From this, the National Athletic Trainers Association has recognized this work. They had an article put in their national publication last month, and reaches about 40,000 members. And it's something that is not new to this country, but is not that common either. There are other states that have AEDs on campus, but certainly in this area, it had never been done. I am very proud of this program, and I know Scott is too. I want to thank the American Red Cross for this great honor. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Chuck Hawley, and I've lived in Santa Cruz for about 30 years, and I've been married to Susan for about 28 of those years.
And I'm Susan Hawley, and Chuck and I have been raising kids in Santa Cruz County for at least 25 years, our own foster kids and adopted children. And I'm a nurse. I work at Dominican Hospital in the intensive care nursery. And we got started doing this mostly from our work and our desire to help out in the community.
We were looking for something to do to give back to the community when our eldest daughters were about 4 and 8 years old. And Susan came home from the nursery one day and said, there are a bunch of kids in need of foster care homes. And I actually didn't know a lot about foster care homes. And I asked her to explain, and she said it was a relatively simple process to be certified as a foster home, and that we possibly could be foster parents. So we decided to give it a try. And a couple of days later, Susan brought home a beautiful little girl who we kept in our house for about 6 months, and who was then successfully adopted into the community. And that was the start of a process of finding kids that needed homes and bringing them home, anywhere from about 4 days to over a year in one case.
And we've fostered children who have been medically fragile infants and up to teenagers. And we've had a wonderful time doing this, and I think one of the most rewarding parts of it has been watching our daughters embrace this and follow through, carrying out with their foster siblings and adopted siblings, and learning to nurture them.
This has been great, largely as a result of Susan's skills in the intensive care nursery, but also just to, as Susan said, to get our own kids involved in the caring process and babysitting and taking them for walks and strollers or whatever kids require. And it's been a really fantastic experience for the whole family. We'd like to thank the Red Cross for giving us this honor. It's great to be recognized, and we encourage everyone to consider being a foster parent at some point in their lives.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anna Kiff. I'm a public safety dispatcher for the Santa Cruz San Benito County 911 Center here in Santa Cruz County. Been a dispatcher almost 27 years. This particular incident that I took a call for was in December of 2012. A very upset gentleman. He had possibly committed a crime, and he was very distraught when he called me. He wanted to speak to me. He had his children in the vehicle, and he knew that the police, law enforcement agencies were behind him. He was on the phone with me for maybe 8 to 13 minutes, and again, wanted to keep talking to me. I was able to calm him down. I was able to have him do what the police agencies asked. Nobody got hurt, no officials got hurt, and I believe that I assisted in protecting those kids and that gentleman and other people. So when I first took the call, I didn't realize that the gentleman had his children with him. And I was concerned, obviously everybody was concerned about the children and for the safety of the public. And I'm glad that I was able to get him to do what the police had requested of him. Nobody was injured or harmed. And I do want to thank my supervisor for recommending me as a hero. Thank you to the Red Cross. And I also want to thank my coworkers. I couldn't have done this without them. This was definitely a team effort with my NetCom dispatchers. And it definitely is a team effort with the law agencies and medical staff that had to attend to other issues. So thank you.
Hi, my name's Lynn Achterberg. I'm with the organization called Project PUR in Santa Cruz County. And we focus on feral cats. We're a feral cat advocacy organization, all volunteer. We have started and fund a spay-neuter program for feral cats and kittens in Santa Cruz County. We have vets in both North County and South County. Our programs specifically address feral cats. What is a feral cat? A feral cat is a domestic cat that is unsocial to people. In order to use our program, you need to trap the cat. It is totally unhandleable by people. We have traps. This is a kitten trap, which comes in very handy for small kittens down underneath decks, underneath water heaters, down drain pipes to rescue them and get them into safety. But also for spay-neuter, we have larger traps to get feral cats in for spay-neuter. Over 90% of kittens each year that are born come from feral mom cats. Most people can rescue the kittens, but they don't have the funds or the knowledge to know how to trap and spay-neuter the mom and dad cats, which is the source of the overpopulation problem. Project PER also runs a barn cat relocation program where we rescue unsocialized, unadoptable feral cats from the county shelter and take them out to garden and barn homes where they have a job to do and they are welcomed and can live their lives. We also have a fix and feed program where we collect donated dog and cat food and distribute it to local pantries such as Valley Churches United up in Ben Lomond and also down to the Homeless Persons Health Project in Harvey West Park. Keeping animals healthy and in their homes during difficult economic times is critically important. We also have a foster program. So we have lots of unique programs available for Santa Cruz County residents, regardless of income. No vouchers are required to use our program. You can go to our website, which is just www.projectper.org for more information, or of course you can always call our helpline. 423-MEOW is our helpline number, and we're on it daily giving information to people about feral cats, kittens, and how they can help them. We very much want to thank the American Red Cross here in Santa Cruz County for this opportunity to bring this important program to you and for more awareness about it. And don't look away when you see a stray. Spay-neuter saves lives. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Autumn Bouchard. Hi, I'm Simone Bouchard, and we've been volunteering with the American Red Cross, Valley Churches United Missions, the Santa Cruz County Board of Education for the last 10 years. We started out when we were little over in Fremont, California, volunteering with the American Red Cross. We're still currently also doing food drives for Valley Churches over at the Scotts Valley Safeway and sometimes the Felton Safeway. We do drives for Easter. We do a school drive over at Palace Arts in Santa Cruz occasionally for the new school year every year. We also do one for Thanksgiving, and we do one for Christmas as well. You know, it's not just more than one person or two people that get together and do something, or a family. It's really an entire community that dedicates the resources and the time and everything else to go and help people out that are in need, or come down to the Red Cross and give blood, or take time out of their day. And that it really is the most valuable thing is time. Whether it's going down to Valley Churches over in Ben Lomond and filling sandbags when there's a huge storm, go down there whenever you can, or going and filling food bags over at Valley Churches for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Just dropping in and offering your help is really the most important thing. And it is greatly appreciated no matter where you go, whatever organization you go to help out for, to help out with. And I really just want to let all kids know that are getting older, it will help you so much in the long run with communication skills and having the experience with people and getting to know them and getting to know their stories. It'll stay with you forever.
You get to see
at the events that you put on to help with the different organizations, you get to actually see who you're giving it to, and you get to meet those people. And sometimes what you'll see is the people who were given the stuff actually, when they get up on their feet and they're able to do something to help you, they'll give back to the community after they've had things given to them. And it's very fulfilling to see that you've done something. And don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Stephanie Rojas, and I've had the joy for 30 years running a program, developing the program, and sharing this program where 5th and 6th graders cook the lunch every day for our school. They also learn gardening, and they also use the produce. We incorporate life skills as they're learning, so they learn about nutrition, how important it is to know where your food comes from, and to be able to understand that you have the power to make yourself healthy by having the skills that will allow you to make good choices. The qualities that you bring out in a kitchen is more than just food. You have to cooperate. And I talk about problem solving being fun, because always there's a problem. And, well, not always, but frequently we have to solve problems, and we have to do it together. And it's a real job. It's not something that we make up. It's real education. It's the world as it actually is for these kids. Two things that are extremely important in this program is the ability of students to learn how to grow their own food, and that they're using the skills that they've learned in their classroom in practical ways in the kitchen. An example would be we will have to multiply these recipes, and the students need to have very good understanding of fractions, sometimes decimals, weights, serving sizes, and nutrition is always done because every meal has to meet the National School Lunch Standard, which is basically very healthy and correct. Well, my hope and vision would be that the programs like this will continue, and thank you so much for this award.
Mel Denfussel, and I've been with the Coast Guard Auxiliary for around 45 years, and also with the Power Squadron. And I've taught boating safety all of that time. Thing that I feel that all boaters should do. First off, and without exception, they should always wear a life jacket when on the weather decks. Secondly, every boater should take a boating class, either Red Cross or Power Squadron or the Coast Guard Auxiliary. They have excellent classes, all of them, and the rules of the road change, and those that think they still know the rules of the road are probably wrong. We've found that to be quite the case. So it's an interesting subject to study and a lot of fun. Every boater should belong to either a yacht club or to the Coast Guard Auxiliary or the Power Squadron, and take advantage of all the fine safety features that they offer. We also have a class that starts with kindergartners and up, which teaches boating water safety primarily. For example, going around swimming pools, not having any glass running with it or running around a swimming pool. Very basic things, but things that the children have only heard from their parents, and all too frequently they don't listen to them like they should. For 10 years I was an instructor in first aid in Burbank before moving to Santa Cruz, and then it was with Santa Cruz Red Cross for at least that long, and served teaching CPR when that started, and first aid. Sean Sheehan is also a very good friend, and he, I understand, recommended me for this final award, and I'm very, very proud to be associated with all the other people that are here today that have been recognized for their efforts.
My name is Tony Rojas, and my story began when I was in grammar school. I studied music, and I remember one time I came across a can of tobacco that said bugler, and I seen a picture of a soldier blowing a bugle. And I took it home and I said to my dad, this is what I want to do. I want to play a bugle. So it didn't take long. My father went and got the bugle, and I started playing it immediately. Then I joined the Boy Scouts, and I became the bugler there. My father started working in the cemetery, and he asked me one day, would you like to play the bugle at the cemetery? I said, yeah, I'll go out there and play it. So he took me out there. Little did I know there were World War I veterans. I would go there on weekends, on Saturdays, and play my bugle when I was in school. But then after in the summertime, you find me in different days out there. Then I went in the Air Force. Little did I know, by that time, they didn't use buglers, hardly. But then I mentioned to the sergeant that I'm a bugler. So he decided to put me out there to play the bugle. And boy, I tell you, they used to throw shoes at me in the morning. When I wake up the troops, they would holler, shut up, and they throw the shoes out the window. But anyway, one day, this gentleman that passed away, and he was going to be buried in Salinas, and he broke my heart. This gentleman was a prisoner of the Japanese army. He was in the Canary Islands, and he died. And there was a beautiful story of that man, and he belonged to the tank company of Salinas. So I went to his funeral. I didn't tell anybody. In fact, all the funerals that I started to go in, I wouldn't tell anybody. I just show up and disappear, just like that. There was about nine of them left alive. They suffered a lot. They got beat up in those camps, starved. Many of them died in there. So then I went to the cemetery, and I seen the honor guard, and I asked him, do you have a bugler? He said, oh yeah, we have a boombox. And I said, this man deserves a bugler. And it's me. So I played my bugle for him. It's very emotional, but I believe that a soldier like that deserves a life bugler.
We want to thank all of you for being here today, and it was a wonderful program. So until next year, for our Heroes program 2014, have a great week. Bye now.